The 25th running of the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure was held Saturday, July 22nd, based from the Riley Rink at Hunter Park. More than 800 runners and walkers took part in the event, an increase from the past couple of years. The event raises money to support treatment for those with breast cancer and research into finding a permanent cure. The event raised more than $60,000 towards that end, exceeding the organizers' goal of $45,000. The scene at the rink Saturday morning was a festive one as runners and walkers warmed up with the help of a dinosaur, symbolizing the hope to make breast cancer extinct. Inside, runners registered and looked over booths and exhibits before the start of the race, and a group of cancer survivors posed for pictures. We spoke with one of them, Claudette Lawton from Goshen, Vermont, who ran in the very first Race for the Cure back in 1993 and has been back many times since.
It makes you feel whole again, and that you can help others understand that you keep going. And it gave me a new enthusiasm for life, because when you see all of these people come together, that there is a purpose, and the people, the group that works this all together is I think fantastic, and they've done it for 25 years.
Another survivor of breast cancer we spoke with several days before the race was Paula Cannell of Manchester, who discussed her experience with the disease.
I really have any warning signs. I just went for my first mammogram. I was 51, and lo and behold, the doctor called and said there's something suspicious. So I went and had a needle biopsy, which actually came out negative, but as the surgeon said, negative is not going to be good because now we're going to have to take the lump out and do a biopsy. And sure enough, it was breast cancer. And that was back in 1999. I did chemotherapy, I did radiation, and then did annual mammograms. And in 2003, I was diagnosed on the right breast with another breast cancer, which was different from the first one. So I then again had to have a lumpectomy, radiation, and just did the routine, and it wasn't easy, but I got through it. And then I would do a mammogram every year after that, and in 2003 I was diagnosed again. So after the third time, I said I think I've had it, and I ended up having a double mastectomy and reconstruction surgery done, and that was done in 2007. Was supposed to do, I believe it was 6 treatments of chemo this time, and I was so beat up that they only could fit in 4 and said, I think we're done, we're doing more harm. And I did a drug called Herceptin intravenously for a year. I did that every month, and the rest is history. I am great. I feel good, and I think part of it started with the race. As a survivor, things have, every time I was diagnosed, the treatments were different, things were better. I have a friend right now who is a young girl in her 30s going through this, and she is doing remarkable, doing chemo and doing very well. So things definitely have changed, and I think part of that is because of all the money raised for Komen, and I really think someday they will find a cure, and I hope it's soon.
Runners took part in both 5 and 10 kilometer events, along with a large group which walked the 5-kilometer course. A new course record for the 10-kilometer event was set by Jim Lamoureux of Swansea, New Hampshire, who clocked in at 37 minutes, 43 seconds, knocking about 30 seconds off the old record. The course record for the 5-kilometer remained the same at 19 minutes, 6 seconds. A festive atmosphere prevailed throughout the morning's events, and afterwards several participants reflected on why they were there and why the event was important to them. One of them was Bill Munson, who explained how he wound up being one of more than 100 members of Ray's Girls.
I think I was one of the original men in the Ray's girls team. Ray last year turned 90, so his goal was to get 90 participants to participate in the Race for the Cure for his birthday. And he said all he wanted for his birthday was 90 girls, and his wife said that was okay.
That's what
This year he's got 113.
Friends with breast cancer, but this year it's more poignant because the Manchester town clerk has breast cancer, and so I'm here in honor of her as well as all other survivors. It's important to me that we raise funds for this very, very important cause.
It's very empowering to be here and to be with everyone and to have all the support from everyone.
Here to support the Race for the Cure. The Manchester Gym, we cancel all classes today so we can all be here to participate. So I run the race every year. I've done it pretty much my whole life, so I'm here to do it again.
The course ran from Riley Rink to North Road in Manchester and across Route 30. 5-kilometer runners re-entered the Hunter Park grounds via the back entrance on Pigpen Road, while the 10-kilometer runners continued down Route 30 into town, then back up on a return leg on Main Street and Route 7. One of them was Glenn Sestero, a local runner, who talked about his experience in the race.
It was great today. It was nice. It wasn't too hot. No sun, no humidity, and I'm being humble. I finished 7th, first in my age group, over 60, and ran 6:48 miles. So I'm really happy. I went out a little fast with the younger kids, but was able to make my pace. So I enjoyed it.
This year, the Vermont chapter of Komen Race for the Cure merged into a larger entity known as Komen New England. The event requires a lot of organization, and earlier in the week before the race, Development Coordinator Linda Manis spoke about the event.
With the merger of Vermont, New Hampshire with Southern New England becoming Susan G. Komen New England, which now covers Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, and possibly Maine in the future. The role of the race and our other events, such as our 2 rides, one in Vermont and one in New Hampshire, will continue to support service organization grants in Vermont and New Hampshire, at least for the foreseeable future. The board of Komen New England will look at this during their next few meetings this fall and this winter. But the formula mostly remains the same in that most funds raised at a race, such as the Vermont race, stay local, with the remaining proceeds supporting vital national research.
After 22 years on the course centered at the Hildene Meadows, the race moved to Riley Rink in 2015, where it seems to have found a home. Since 1989 and through 2014, there has been a 38% decline in the number of deaths from breast cancer. For those who prefer to bike instead of run or walk, there will be an inaugural event this year on October 1st in Attleboro, Massachusetts, called the Impact Ride. Go to the Komen New England website for more information. For the GNET TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.